So Selenium is basically the most popular, widely used automation tool for web application testings. It empowers us to execute automation script on all the popular browser like Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Edge, Opera, etc. And the biggest reason why people are preferring to use this tool because it is available free of cost, and that is obvious. If you need not to pay anything for the tool, obviously this is one of the very attractive feature. If you are working on any project which is having a limited budget, or you are having some sort of budget constraint, irrespective of the merits one particular tool is having, you would not be able to use that tool because it's not available free of cost, right? And because Selenium is free of cost, it is open source, it does not impact your project cost or your budget. So that is one of the reason. But but that is not the only reason which makes it popular. Apart from that, it has its own merit as well. Just something is available free of cost will not force people to use that, right, until unless it has certain other benefits or certain other merits. The second thing, the family of tools. Selenium is not kind of the one tool or library. It is a kind of umbrella. Under that, multiple tools are there which basically facilitate automated testing for web application. And you know this these tools together help to automate web application effectively and efficiently. We will talk more about what all tools belong to the Selenium family in subsequent discussion or subsequent slides. Other thing, the platform independent. So actually JavaScript has been used to build this tool. So that is the reason it makes this tool platform independent. You can run your script on Windows platform, you can run your script on Linux platform, you can run your script Mac platform, you can even run your script on Ubuntu as well. And then the record and playback feature. The Selenium has record and playback feature as well. There is a one tool from this family, Selenium IDE. It has, you can record and you can play back whatever you have recorded. This is very useful when you have a team member who is not very efficient in programming, or who can't develop a code. So in that particular situation or circumstances, this Selenium IDE, which is having this feature, is very useful. Apart from that, it is used most of the time, it is used for demo purpose as well. So this is record and playback. Then multiple programming language support. Selenium supports many programming languages like Java, Python, PHP, Ruby, C Sharp, and so on. And it gives the flexibility in whatever programming language you are comfortable with. You can write a code for Selenium. You need not to, to leverage the Selenium, to leverage the power of Selenium, you need not to really carry an extra burden of learning certain programming language. That is another reason which people are comfortable using Selenium. They need not to learn any new language, new programming language, apart from their own comfortable, they need not to come out from their comfort zone and try to learn a new programming language just for the sake of using Selenium. So that is another, the if you'll go into the Selenium website, you will see that um, they are providing the binding for all the programming language. In our session, we would be basically focusing on only Java. We won't we won't use other programming language, we will use just Java. But in case someone already knows other programming languages, they can give a try. And most of the time the concept would be same. There will be a small because of the because of the language difference, they might need to use different syntaxes, but the core concept is going to be same. If you are attending the session in Java, you would be still able to code, to use the Selenium in other programming language as well. The cross browser, another benefit is the cross browser support, right? So web application, in case you are building an application which is going to be hosted on internet, so it is really very important for us to test the application at least on all the popular browser. We can't say that our application is, will work only on IE, or will work only on Chrome or Firefox or Safari, right? You would be cutting the user base in case you are putting that kind of restriction or that kind of constraint with your application. And if you are delivering an application which should work on all the browser, then there is a testing need arises from here, that you need to test the application on all the browsers. So Selenium helps here. Selenium follow the script once approach. Once you are developing a script by using, suppose you have developed the script against Firefox browser, still you would be able to run the same script on different browser as well, without really making a lot of changes in your programming, in your scripting. Maybe one line change would be sufficient to run the same script against different browser. And the Selenium support almost all the popular browser. So this also makes it, very powerful among the various tools available. So this is about the Selenium. So these are the very high level features which, the Selenium offers, and that is the biggest reason for being this tool very popular and widely used. Okay. Now I would like to cover little bit about the evolution of Selenium. Whatever we are seeing in the present stage, whatever we are seeing, the present form of WebDriver or Selenium, how it came, what was the journey. So, basically, in 2004, Selenium came into existence. So I think 15, 16 years ago, 2004, there was a gentleman named Jason Huggins. He was engineer at ThoughtWorks company working in Chicago. He was working on a web application, and that requires frequent testing. And what he realized, that manual testing was becoming really very hard for him. It was a very time consuming and inefficient also. So what he did to overcome to the kind of challenges he was facing, to overcome that challenge, he wrote a small JavaScript program that could interact with the browser and do some actions. And the name he gave to his, the utility what he developed, he gave a name JavaScript test runner. And once that utility done, and he was kind of giving some benefit to him, he was able to save time, he was able to, improve the efficiency of his testing. He started giving demo on that tool internally, you know internally to the folks working in that organization. And suddenly, while giving a demo, and it was getting becoming a popular within the organization, so there was a discussion started to make it open source, that particular utility JavaScript test runner. But there was a problem. The problem was, there was some same origin policy issue. What this policy says, that this is related to security. So this policy says that if a JavaScript code is written within the domain, it can't access any resource or any page outside of that domain, due to security reasons. So let's say JavaScript program is in google.com domain. So it will not be able to access the pages available in facebook.com. So that was it has imposed a kind of restriction for Selenium, um, to be used by the other people, or it's kind of the restriction which is um, making it difficult to interact with the other portals or other pages. So to overcome that issue, another engineer from the same organization, paul hammond paul hammond, he was also working in thoughtwork organization. So what he did, he added one server that is going that was going to act as the http proxy server. What that server does, it tricked the browser to believe that the Selenium code, that JavaScript code, and the web application, which is under test, both are from the same domain. And the name what he gave to that server is Selenium Remote Control. So this was, I mean, in short form, we call it Selenium RC as well. Selenium, and then this Selenium RC, and there have been some enhancement also. I mean, whatever the Paul Hammond done, there is another guy, Patrick. He made some enhancement and made it um, made it a little stable so that it can be deployed at a large scale. And 2004, Selenium was available in open source. Selenium was available for other to contribute as well as for other to use as well. And in 2006, Selenium RC and this Selenium core has been merged, and there was a release, Selenium 1, what we call, in 2006. And in 2006 there was a Japanese engineer. He also developed, he used the same code, wrapped it up. He created a wrapper and he developed the Selenium IDE, which was having the record and playback feature, and he donated it to the Selenium in 2006. So this was the story happening around Selenium RC. In 2007, another engineer, Simon Stewart, he he was working on a project, and he what he did, the kind of the middleman we were using, right, the Selenium server, which was kind of HTTP proxy server, he removed that. And he, with the help of API, he used the driver, which is useful to exchange the information between the code and the browser. So in 2007, the Simon Stewart came and he developed this driver, which is what we would be this web driver. And after that, there have been released in 2011 where Selenium RC and Selenium WebDriver has been merged. And after that, we are having a Selenium 3. Now Selenium 4 is also available, which is still in a kind of alpha testing mode. And in 2007 itself, another folk developed the Selenium Grid, which was for kind of um, making to save the testing time. He developed a server which helped to execute the Selenium scripts in a parallel fashion. We would be discussing more about these tools, whatever I'm talking about. So this is what the WebDriver came, and whatever you are seeing, this is how we reached here. Now Selenium RC is deprecated now. There is no support for the Selenium RC, so we won't be discussing about Selenium RC because anyhow it is dead, and there's no point for us to deep dive into something which is of no use, right? And now you might have a question, how the Selenium, I mean, why we have given the Selenium name to this. So when the Selenium was being developed, at the same time, you would have heard about the QTP tool, right? Now it is the HP has, it is with the HP, but it started with the Mercury Interactive company. Mercury Interactive organization was the who has introduced the QTP into the market. So that time, what happened in one of the mail, jokingly, Jason Higgins has said that you need Selenium supplements to cure mercury poisoning, and that is where the name has been caught, and that is where the name has been given to this tool as well, Selenium. All right.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now what we will do, we will write a very basic Selenium script, and then we will discuss one by one whatever uh, in the code, whatever we will use. We'll go in detail, and then I'll cover the other topics. Okay.
Yep.
So let's start with the very basic Selenium scripts. So the Selenium setup is done, right, in all of your system.
Yes, it is done.
Okay. So let me create one project, Java project. Let me give the name my first Selenium project. I've created a package, and in that package, I'll create one class.
Sorry to interrupt. Not able to see the other screen. I'm just getting displayed only the slide screen.
My bad. Now, are you able to see?
Yes. Now it's visible. Thank you.
I'm including the main method into this class. Finish. Okay. So this class we will use to write our program, and before that, we need to add the Selenium jar file into this Java project. So let's add that. So properties, Java build path. You may be, I mean, this is not the ideal way. Normally we use Maven, but Maven is not yet covered. So I'm going in this way to include the jar files into the project. So I have already downloaded. So let me add this. Okay. So Selenium jar file has been added to the project. Now, as I mentioned in the WebDriver, it used the driver, right, to interact with the browser. So we need to have the driver also. So if in case you have already you have already downloaded the driver, it's fine. Otherwise, you can simply go to the Google, and you can mention like I want to download the Chrome driver. So Chrome driver download, and you can see here the different version, right? And what else you can check? You can check your the browser version. So mine is 81. So based on your version of Chrome installed in your system, you can download the Chrome driver. You can see here it is mentioned supports Chrome version 81. So like that, you can, based on your browser version, you can download the Chrome driver. If you're using a higher version of Chrome browser and downloading the lower version of driver, you might have a compatibility issue, and it might give some error. So always remember, whenever you are downloading the Chrome driver or Selenium library, Either you use the latest version. So if in case you are going with the latest version, obviously it would be compatible. Otherwise, pay little attention, because sometimes you will have this kind of issue where you're using the older version of Selenium, higher version of Chrome driver, and your browser version is different. It may be, you know, very old. Then you might have some issue. Okay. So I have already actually downloaded the Chrome driver here. So what I will do, somehow I need to tell my script where my Chrome driver is residing. Okay, so how you can do that? You need to specify the, you need to specify, you need to give the, define one variable, you know, and assign this value, the path of your Chrome driver, to that variable. And that variable is, I'll, so this is, we use system.set property in case you have any property variable and you want to assign the value. So then we use the system.set property. System, you know, the systems related any variable if you want to assign any value. So here what I want, first I want to tell where my Chrome driver is residing. So this is the variable name I have to use, everything in a lowercase. WebDriver.chrome.driver, this is the variable, and you need to tell the path of where Chrome driver is residing. One way is take the path from here, other way is just you copy the Chrome driver and put it into, paste it into your project. So here, because it is within the same project, you need not to give any path, you just need to mention the Chrome driver. So now I have set where my Chrome driver is residing. Okay. Now what is the next step? In case you have any web application and you want to test, so what would be the first step you do?
Get the URL of that application.
Okay, so get the URL of that application. So okay, so basically the first action, if in case you are having any web application, you will get the URL, but the first action, you will launch the browser on which you want to test, right?
Correct.
Right.
Okay, so now here also the first thing, we need to launch the browser. So to launch the browser, I'll I'll talk these things in detail, so need not to worry if few terms you are seeing you know uh, you are seeing confusing, need not to worry. So in WebDriver, Selenium provides one interface. uh, its name is WebDriver. And what happened, for different browser, we are having a different classes which implement the same interface, and that is the reason you will notice that, you know, even though you develop a script using a Chrome, but still you are able to run your script on Firefox or on any other browser, because there is a consistency in methods. So Java classes, I believe you guys have already done, right? So you are aware about the interface and how the class implement the interface, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now I have defined one driver reference variable, and the type is WebDriver. Now because I am using WebDriver, I need to import the class or interface where it is defined. So it is suggesting that this is what we need to import. Now next, driver is equal to, because the Chrome driver, Firefox driver, or different drivers are implementing the same interface, so we can still store the object into the reference variable, which is type of the interface. So in case I am creating a, now I want to, there is some issue in my Firefox today. So what I'll do, I'll show all the example with the Chrome, and you guys can try with the Firefox. The syntax wise, it is going to remain same. And if you are having an issue, probably in tomorrow's session, today I'll try to fix that issue. So tomorrow maybe I'll be able to show the example in Firefox as well. The syntax wise, almost it is going to be same. So to launch the browser, as we mentioned, right, as we discussed, right, the first action to launch the browser. To launch the browser here in Selenium, what we have to do, we need to create an instance of the WebDriver or create an object of the WebDriver. So let me mention here the step: create instance of Chrome driver. And here it's a reference variable. And here setting path for Chrome driver. So let's see whether it is launching the browser or not. Let me run this.
Sorry, the screen is blank.
Okay, so this is, let me see how can I share my entire desktop so that,
Now we can see the Chrome.
okay, so let me do one thing. Now are you able to see my entire desktop?
Yes.
Okay, great. Earlier actually, yeah, sorry.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, great. So we are able to launch the browser. What would be the next step? As someone mentioned that we would be
URL.
URL, right? We'll pass the URL. So the next step, so there is a method with this the web driver, the driver dot get. Here you can pass the URL. So suppose I want to, okay, let me, suppose I want to launch this facebook.com. So I'll copy the URL and I'll put it here. And remember that this method takes the input, the argument as a string. So here you need to ensure that whenever you are passing a URL, it should be type of a string. Okay, so let's run this as well and see what it does. Okay, now you would have noticed that it is launching, but the size is, the window size is not the proper, you know, it would be good if the size is fully maximized. So there is a method available here in with the WebDriver where you can manage the window. Okay, so let me use that driver dot
Windows.maximize.
manage. What I want to manage? I
Win
want to manage window. What I want to do with the window? I
max.
want to maximize it, right? And then it will, if I run it, this time it is fine. We are able to see. everything, right? Okay.